Well, let me go back a little bit. It came about when we used to have a promotional product business, and I just started, and it was always, "Hey, where are you finding clients? What are you doing today?" And I just enjoy going to the bar because I didn't have to work for anybody anymore. So it'll be 2 in the afternoon. I know the bar owner. I would go in and sit, and I started finding out that people came into the bar at a certain for a certain reason at that time of day. That was either they were celebrating something or they were having a really bad day and they needed somebody to like solve that problem because they were too overwhelmed from it. So I started and I noticed like where those people would actually sit when they came into the bar. So it's if I would always place myself right in the middle of the longest part of the bar, if somebody really wanted to talk to you, they're coming 2 seats within 2 seats of it. If they don't want to be bothered, they're all the way at the far end of the bar and they don't even care. So the person 2 seats away from you, they come in, they order their drink. They normally look over at you to see because it's normally only the two of you or three of you in the whole bar. They smile. Hey, how's your day going? Oh, I'm going great. How's yours? And then they just unload. Oh my God, I'm having the worst day. I just got audited. I can't find my accountant and or this and that. And it's like, are you looking for something? Do you need help with that? Or because if you do, I have somebody I can call right now and maybe they can help you out. So I used to have people in my BNI group during the time knew that if I called them around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I was calling them to get them to come to the bar for a referral for that reason. Because that's how I set up my network. Because I was like, it's going to be, I'm sitting here talking to people with problems. If you can help them solve that problem, that's where we're going. I'm going to call you, show up because they're ready. So that's how it all came about. And also, like I started doing that in other locations as well. We started going to different high end functions, and Tiffany used to get mad at me because I would be one of the last people to leave the event because I found out,
Not one of the last, like the last plus the organizers.
yeah, because I found that the people who, the most influential people were staying later. They were sitting there, they'd find a little corner, they'd go out, take their drinks. The restaurant was closed and they're just sitting out there having drinks, having some cigars, and they're networking, doing the thing. And for some reason, I always got invited to come and sit out there. And Tiffany's sitting in the car, staying cool, and I'm just out there hanging out, networking. And I'm like, I really feel bad, but I'm getting business. So the whole premise of it is you actually have to be willing to listen to somebody because this whole thing is not, I'm walking into this situation trying to push my business or do different things. It's more of, I'm just going to listen and let them take control of everything. And I'm just going to step in when I can. So it makes it a whole different way of networking. Whereas, hey, I'm this person, I'm trying to help you. It's, oh, how you doing? I'm just Rob. Oh, what do you do? I help people do this. What do you do? And you just try and get them talking more because the more they talk and you find a way to help them, as in the whole giver's gain, they really want to help you in the back end because you did something to push that on them or help them out. And that's pretty much the way I found I have done it. Um, I don't fear talking to people at all. It's like, if you want me to go with you anywhere, I've done this at concerts, I've done it at bars, I've done it at amusement parks, you name it. I've had success bringing business in for no reason at all, not even trying to. It's weird. I enjoy it because it puts money in my pocket, but that's how normal things go.
So what's the hardest part of this for people?
The hardest thing is not talking about yourself. That's the hardest part about it. It's because Well, if it's hard for you to not talk about yourself, the other people want to talk about themselves as well. So that's what you're really looking for is who they are. And then you can also find those gaps to figure out how they can connect you to certain people because they're going to tell you if you find somebody who's like very influential, you might know who they are and sit back and know who they're connected with. And if you can sit there and listen and show genuine interest in who they are, more likely they're going to be willing to introduce you to other people that you're really wanting to get in front of. And that's why they also say, I've also heard and been told, network with the people that what is it? It's network with the people who you want to net. I can't even think of the phrase now.
Are you thinking about networking up?
Yeah, networking up. That's it. So you network up, and then you can get the things that you want.
So do you ever end up talking to more than one person at a time?
Normally, I get it put in a group. If I'm at the bar, I normally do it myself, or
Oh, you just
it's
attract
normally a
people to
one-on-one
you?
conversation. It's normally a one-on-one conversation at a bar, just because of the way the seating is set up. If you're out at an event, then you could potentially be put in a whole group setting, and then you're just picking out like, hey, how can I help this person? How can I help this person? And then you can tend to pull them away for a little bit once the conversation dies down a little bit and be like, hey, I heard what you were saying about this. I might have somebody that can help you do this or get passed on this way. And then once you do that, then they're like, oh, man, well, why don't you come to this event with me or come to this or I have an extra ticket to this. Dude, you want to come and we can introduce you to this person. So guess what?
Last question, and anything else that you want to add before we go to breakout rooms. What types of places does this approach from bar stool to business stool deal work best?
So this is not your normal networking event type of tactic because one, everybody's already there to network. So if you're just going to a restaurant and you just want to sit down and you tend to be by yourself or you're waiting on someone, great example. Last night, I was waiting on a doctor client to come and meet with me, and I'm sitting at the bar, or I'm sitting at a table right next to the bar, and a guy comes and sits like right in view of me, but not like right next to me. So he's sitting there, and I can see him like keep leaning over, like looking like he wanted to say something, or just be like, "Hey, what are you drinking?" or what, like to start a conversation. But since I was there to meet a client, I couldn't really go into the whole engagement. But I knew, like, I could feel that energy that he was putting off. Like, I'm here. I want to talk to somebody, but I don't want to be like, I don't want to step into somebody's conversation. And once you do it a few times, you'll just feel that energy of this person is looking to have a conversation. And that person might end up being your best referral or referral source.
So, Rob, are you telling us to talk to strangers?
Talk to as many strangers as possible. Strangers are good. Not if they're trying to put you in a van, but if you're trying to just have regular people who are business focused, it's always good to talk to strangers.
Love it. We've got just a couple minutes for the breakout room. What do you want them chatting about in the breakout room?
Um, Basically just like what would be I don't really know. It's more about because this whole thing is about like stepping outside of your own self and just listening, being able to listen. So if you can figure out like where that type of place might be for you, whether it's a coffee shop or if it's your local restaurant or your wherever you're like a local at,
All right.
that type of place.